You?
I'm good, thanks.
So I asked whether I could interview you today, just because I think you are, well, I know you as a very good photographer in Cambridge and a user of 10 to 8. And I wondered whether you would mind sharing a bit of your expertise on how 10 to 8 has helped you grow your business with the rest of the community. So maybe first, could you tell us a bit about you, how you work, and especially your online presence, maybe?
Okay, well, basically, I'm Jean-Luc Benazet. I've been in Cambridge for about 17 years. I arrived in September 98, fresh off France winning the World Cup, champion of the world. So, yes, so basically, I came here originally to work in IT as a translator. I mean, it was really my main career at the time, and I was doing photography on the side. But then little by little, people started to ask me if I was professional, and so I mean it took a while, but I was doing like a few free gigs here and there. I was taking pictures at concerts or football. I was really trying my hand at photography then. But then in 2003, there started to be lots of bookings, so I had to go semi-professional. I mean, I started a company, a sole trading company, as Jean-Luc Benazet Photography. And yes, basically, he went from little by little. He went quite good actually. So I was doing my own websites, always basically trying to be online as much as possible. And actually, I was actually ranking quite well in Cambridge. I was top of Google for most of the keywords of photography. I used to do more than 20 weddings a year for about 6-7 years in a row, consistently. Sorry. But as well as having I was a translator on the side for a big company. So basically, I used to do weekend work whenever I could, and basically until recently, where I was actually made redundant from my day job after 15 years, which I'm actually happy with because I think it started to be a bit of a burden rather than a pleasure to go to work. So I decided to go full time as a photographer, and it seems to work for now. But you never know. Maybe in winter I'm gonna be not saying the same thing. Basically, yes. So that's me. I tend to do weddings quite a lot, but after what I said earlier on, that I was top of Google and things, since 2012, actually, when I moved house, I went to live outside Cambridge. I changed my address in Google because I wanted to be, in the be regular, which is like basically in the rule and do as it should be done. And I changed my address, and then I completely dropped off Google. So I don't know what happened. Something weird happened in my profile. I was like page 16 or something, which was completely heartbreaking because I lost all the ranking I had accumulated over the years. So I had to claw back basically little by little, which took time and basically took lots of business off my hands. So it was a bit of a mishap on the way. But around that time, actually, 2012, I always had the idea of having a shop in Cambridge. And probably while daydreaming one day, I thought about, Cambridge Photographers would be a nice name. And then I thought, I'm wondering if the URL, the domain name, cambridgephotographers.co.uk is available. So I checked, and it was available. So I bought it. I left it dormant for a while. It's only maybe beginning of 2013 when I actually chatted with a friend who used to work in search engine optimization, who said to me, why don't you put it online? Because it should be online. I mean, that's what, in the end, every people type in Google to get a photographer in Cambridge. So basically, that's it. I put it online, and within 2 weeks, he shot to the top of Google, and he's still there, basically. So I get quite a lot of business through Cambridge Photographers now. So I'm the managing director, and basically, I tend to get inquiries about 2/3 of my work through Cambridge Photographers and 1/3 through my website, which is starting to rank better now. So I'm starting to get found again. And so, yes, Sorry, I was talking in one go without letting you place a word, but that's what I'm doing at the moment, photography full time. And as I said, it's mainly, I mean, obviously the whole of the summer, every weekend I've got a wedding till the end of August, which is very good. Sometimes 2 weddings a weekend. And the rest of the time I tend to do portrait photography, events, and I've started doing food as well for local restaurants and pizzerias. So it's quite interesting because it's a bit varied. Obviously, when you're a photographer like this, you need to have a bit of a niche when you do work, because if you say, oh, I can do anything, I can do architecture, I can do cars, I can do whatever you want. Sometimes people see it as a jack of all trade, but they don't really tend to, if you don't seem to have a specialty. So I guess my specialty is people. And then the food is probably more a bit like people ask, so I can do it, obviously. I will help. Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting to change from the people side. It's a bit more technical, I guess.
And I think we started working together because 10 to 8, so as the calendar, you started experimenting with putting it as part of your Jean-Luc Benazet website to let people book you via the website. I think that's because you're quite an experimenter with online and wanting to offer more service to your clients. Can you tell us more about this side?
Yeah, I basically integrated it to my latest website, about page, I think it is in the about page.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on jeanlucbenazet.com, and then basically when you go to about, there is a blurb of myself, but if you scroll down, then there is like 4 different rectangles. I mean, that's how it looks. And basically in the rectangles, you can click on the rectangles and then book either for like an initial consultation with me, or you can book for a photo session, like a portrait session. So for now, I've only used it for that, so that basically people can see that they can book me very easily, basically in their calendar. And then they can also let me know if they're going to cancel it, so they can let me know online. And I think it's a brilliant idea. And everyone I told too about this company and software, they are like gobsmacked. I mean, they haven't told me if they joined, but lots of people who work for various companies have told me it's very, very, very good. And I've actually had people now visiting my website because I redesigned it, and it's kind of I got hacked. So now I took the steps to try and not make it happen. But basically, when I integrated 10 to 8, I've asked like friends on Facebook, for example, or some clients, can you maybe check that the website works the way you want it to work? And many people have said, oh, what is this thing? It's very interesting, and you can, it looks quite nifty, and is it like a software? So I explained, and I think, I mean, it's very, it's good, because if you do that, if you seem to be doing that more and more now with companies to help them integrate this into their website, it's actually, it's going to bring you some interest, I'm sure.
So do your clients like it? Do they, because when we started speaking about this, you did it for your clients.
Yes, I did it for my clients, definitely. I mean, it's more, I tend to see it more as a service that I offer my clients rather than something that I need. Absolutely. It's like taking a credit card payments. I never used to take credit card payments, and only this month I started taking credit card payments, and then suddenly I got 2 payments last month via credit card, and I never did it before. And obviously, if you offer the service, then people are going to take it because it's there. If you don't offer it, then basically they're not going to do it. So I think it's more a service to allow people to, to give them more comfortability. I mean, I don't know, they're more comfortable using that kind of thing rather than writing it in the diary and then forgetting it if they have a constant reminder. Or I think it's very interesting. It's the usability is great.
Okay, so yes, you allow online payment with 10 to 8, and you do you think it's helped you just look a bit more professional? Because photography I see as a very unregulated and highly competitive market.
Yeah, it's. I think the competitiveness is very is there, definitely. I mean, if you look in Cambridge already, I mean, I don't know if you type wedding photographer Cambridge, you probably have lots of them. If you type photographer Cambridge, you probably have lots of them. I mean, with Cambridge photographers, I think we've been lucky because as soon as I put it online, it went straight to #1 top of Google, and it's still there now for those keywords. So yeah, Touchwood is going to stay there. But I think you're right when you say it's a bit. I mean, I think there's hardly any regulation because, like for example, these days there's a lot of people, the professional photographer, who complain that they feel what they call the weekend warriors. There used to be this term called. I mean, I was a bit of a weekend warrior myself because I had a day job, and then on the weekend I was doing weddings or various shoots so it's. I mean, obviously I was a weekend warrior, but I had all the insurance, all the things that you need to be a photographer, and I think I was probably seeing myself as a semi-professional. But it's true that these days people, I don't know if it's part of the recession or they realize, wedding photographers, they can make lots of money in one day. I'm going to charge £250 a day and then Bob's your uncle. But then it kind of breaks the whole market, or people would say, I've got already someone doing my wedding. It's like my cousin or something. But then, is it going to be the same quality? After the rings to your finger, there's only the photos left. So basically, if you ask an amateur to take them, you may be disappointed when you have the results. That's the only question.
And do you think 10-8 helped you stand out from competition?
I think, as I said, I think it adds another dimension so that you can basically offer that service that nobody else or a limited number of other photographers use. I mean, even recently, I had I don't know if you remember there's a videographer from Cambridge who joined 10-8.
Yep.
And you went to my website and you say, "What is this? I want it. I went to my website. How do you get it?" And I told him to go to your community support group, and then he joined basically. So I think it's just something different. People tend to go there and think, "Oh, how can he do that?" And basically, it's something new. It's a novelty, but it works. I mean, it's not like something you're going to use a bit and then this card is something for the future. It's I mean for now, but I mean it's I think it's something that's just gonna hopefully. I mean I'm pretty sure because you seem to be very successful. It's gonna take off much more than it is now. Like really.
Well, we're working on it. If it works for people like you, it should.
Yes, it should. But there's no reason why. No, I definitely think that kind of increased made my profile a bit more prominent because of the way it is basically offering services that probably most of my competitors don't offer.
And you offer it as well on Facebook?
I do, yes. I've recently integrated it to my Jean-Luc Benazet photography profile. But basically, that's my main website at the moment. So there is a clear button that says book now, and you can book an appointment, an initial consultation, or book a portrait session. So it's exactly the same format. I will have, I think, to now sit down and think really if I can basically use it for, say, my book a wedding, or I don't know if it's. I mean, at the moment, people can book initial consultation to come and meet me to talk about the wedding. So basically, that's really good because then there is the whole calendar and the whole reminder and cancellation facility. But basically, I mean, if you could work for anything, really, that would be amazing. I mean, I'm sure it works for anything, but I'll put it wrongly. I'm meaning maybe if I could sit down and make it work the way it's intended to work.
Well, no, I don't think you put it the wrong way. It is very hard for photographers because each service tends to be a different length. And so that's why, it makes sense to set it as an initial consultation so that you let people book you online for something. And then you keep the liberty of adjusting the booking for the actual event as it needs to be, because I guess a photo shoot can go between a couple of hours, or it could be very quick, or it could be very long, depending on what customers will want. So
Yeah, I mean, but generally, wedding, I could say, for example, or I offering like you click and you book a wedding for the whole day, which is possible. So you have, I offer two different full days packages, one without the preparation of the bride and without the disco, and the other one with everything. So there could be already two different wedding packages, which includes the full day or just near the full day, and then that could be something to work on. So I think I will have to sit down again and think about uh, new
New
rectangles,
packages.
like new buttons, how people can yeah, book their dates in the calendar.
Well, as you get busier, you will need to automate more. So that's good.
Yeah, definitely. No, no, that's I'm up. I'm really up to be busy. I really want that. Yeah, it's definitely that. It's
Okay.
an incentive.
And if you could give a tip to other photographers who are thinking of using 10 to 8, what would that be?
Well, I think it's just really for peace of mind and to have it. I mean, again, I see it as a great service. It's more a service, and I want to emphasize that. Um, you know, you always meet people. I mean, I've actually got now to say sometimes to people not to meet them because the way I work, I tend to offer wedding by the hour now. So I've had actually an article made about me in the national press in April, uh, because you have some photographers who don't accept the booking unless it's for the whole day. But because I live so close to the registry office, and because you know I'm doing that full time, so you know there is no little. I mean, every booking is important for me. Even for a Saturday, if someone wants an hour wedding on a Saturday, I will say yes because you know that's what they want. So the client is king. Obviously, some people would hold out all the Saturday for a longer wedding in case it comes up. But you know that's another. You know, it may never happen. So basically, I said always yes. But for example, so what I wanted to say for that is basically people tend to want to meet all the time. So for example, even for an hour wedding, a client would say, "Oh, I'd really like to meet you," but you run the risk to meet them for the meeting to run longer than the shoot itself. So basically, I tend to tell them, well, maybe we can book either an initial consultation or a Skype. So now I did the Skype consultation on 10 to 8 for people like this who really want to meet, but actually who it's probably better just to meet online when you're doing something else, or you don't have to go to the location, they don't have to come to your location. So something a bit different. So maybe, yeah, I think photographers, if they really embrace this kind of ways of, you know, using their calendar and the appointment and the booking, everything like this could actually improve. Because generally, what a photographer needs is time. They're really short of time. I mean, if you, you know, I can see myself. I work, you know, but time is so. At the moment, I end up going to bed really late, maybe 3 a.m. because I miss time. So that's. I think if photographers can understand that, it actually will save them time and facilitate the way they work and make their clients a bit more happier because they offer that service and nobody else, for example, uses that. It may kind of make them, you know, put them in a better light than others.
Yep. And can we put your details out to the rest of the community, and if they have questions or if they want to have a chat with you, would you mind?
Yeah, by any means, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, I mean, networking as well is great. I'm networking a lot at the moment, so I'm happy to network with anyone who wants to come up and chat. Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Jean-Luc, and thank you for your time this afternoon. And well, thank you again.
Thank you for having me. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.